Hey, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Molly.
And
we're Jeff and Molly Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. It's a beautiful July morning. Today's the 20th of July, 6:28 right now. Miss Molly and I is on our way to Sipsey, the Sipsey Wilderness in northern Alabama, and we are going to not do a whole lot of miles. Matter of fact, we're not planning on hardly any miles at all. We're going to hike in. We're going to camp. That kind of base camp. We might do a little day hiking there. Mostly it's just time for us to get away, relax, and just enjoy one another's company. We'll probably do a little bushcrafting. Probably do some little bushcrafty things, something like that to keep us occupied. I mean, we brought dice and we brought some games, I'll say it that way, so we can play. And I think we even downloaded a couple movies, Miss Molly did, just to kind of keep us occupied, because like I said, we're not going to do a lot of hiking. It's already 76 degrees at 6:30, and we're expecting temperatures in the upper 90s, with low temperatures 74, something like that. So it's kind of hot. We don't like backpacking and when it's this hot. All right, well, Lord willing, we'll see you there.
What? What's your problem? What do you want? Are you ready to go, Shy? Is you ready to go? You ready to go camping? You ready to go hiking? There she goes. She's ready. Alright guys, time is 11:36. We got into a camp spot and went ahead and got everything hung, and lo and behold, it was only supposed to be 20% chance of rain today, and it's raining. And the next couple days is supposed to rain too, so it looks like we're going to have another rainy camping trip. But that goes with camping, so we're just gonna sit out here for a little bit. Jeff went down and grabbed water and about died doing it. Came up here and is about in heat exhaustion, about passed out on us. So we're just gonna sit underneath the tarp on our chairs and just watch it rain.
Uncle Ben's red beans and rice and a pack of chicken, white chicken, and it's heavier than dehydrated stuff, but I didn't feel like cooking, so I brought more things like this. I didn't have to cook this trip. Just something new I'm trying. This stuff will hold 350 pounds, a line. We've got 4 lines on here, so we got plenty covering the weight limit. Just tying overhand knots. We're making a makeshift tree straps. We have other tree straps at home, but we wasn't planning on using any other hammock, and Miss Molly has a mesh hammock with her that you could use for a hammock sling, gear sling, or a chair, or just a hammock or whatever to sit in. That'll work. I always carry this number 36 bankline with me. Miss Molly does too. And we use it for lashing things together, making tripods and that type of thing. But today it's hammock straps, evidently. So that right there will work. There you go, Miss Molly. Let's fix this. End of the hammock is clueless. See, its clues messed up. It's clueless. Sorry. That was a bad joke, wasn't it? Now let's check and see if the other end's okay. No, it's messed up too.
It's clueless too.
You can tell this is Miss Molly's hammock. I'm just teasing.
And it holds.
Buddy, I'll tell you what, it's miserable humid. You know?
Are you a bee killer? She's been chasing bees. It's been trying to get her ruby rose. The bee killer. Whoa. Good morning, world. We had a long night. I laid here and watched it get darker and darker. It was almost like a TV channel change. Woof, woof. Or it might have been the heart beating in my head because I was so scared because I'm scared of the dark. But any case, crickets and frogs were so loud last night. There must have been hundreds of them. It was just almost ear piercing. They were so loud. But we made it through the night. It didn't rain last night at all. So that was good. But Jeff's up making some coffee. And, oh, excuse me. And I reckon we'll get up and get started with the day. We're going to do a little bit of bushcrafting today. And make a table. And possibly make a bathroom. So we'll see what today holds and how the weather holds out for us today on what we're going to do. And got another movie to watch tonight. We watched a movie last night, The Appalachian Trail. It was a Christian movie. It's pretty good. It was a real good one for kids to watch. But I'll get up and get this day started and see what it holds. Well, we went ahead and each of us had a Pop-Tart this morning with the coffee that Jeff made. And he went down and gathered water. We've already filtered enough water for a little while. We filtered 3 bottles. And he's gone down now to try to scope out a spot in the creek that'd be easy enough to get down and possibly go down there and wash. Time's 10:42 now. It's a beautiful day. I mean, you can just hear the animals and the insects. But it's a pretty day, and we'll just sit back and figure out what we're going to do. It's so hot that anytime you do anything, I mean, you can tell that your skin's defective because it leaks. But it's supposed to be in the 90s again today and hot and humid. But we'll just see how today goes. And we've got tonight, and we'll be packing up in the morning and early and hitting the trail before it gets too hot to get back to the truck. But we'll just see what today holds.
All right, I'm not sure if we've showed you this before, but this is a way you don't have to make so many trips to the water hole if you have a base camp or something like that. We have a trash compactor bag, and as you can see, I've got, I don't know, it's full of water up into here. And so there's probably, I probably had 4 or 5 gallons of water in it. Probably 5 gallons at least when I went down to the river and got it. But you can take a piece of cordage, tie a bowline in it, use a toggle. A toggle is one of your best friends out here doing this kind of stuff. And you put the bag, roll it up, put it over your toggle, and then put your bowline around the stick from both, you know, around the whole thing, and then down on the bag, and it'll cinch it down tight, and it'll hold it up without tearing the bag because your weight's on your bowline, or I mean on your toggle. And it's an easy way to store up a lot of water. And then what we do, and I know we've showed you this before, but we use a gravity system. And of course, you know, this is not practical for backpacking, but we're not backpacking this trip. We're just got a base camp. And then we put it in our gravity system here, and then it runs down through our Sawyer Mini and then right into whatever container we're filling up, and it works very well. Makes a good gravity system, and then that way you're passively working, especially when it's hot like this. You know, you don't have to do anything. You can see my arm, it's just covered with sweat, but you don't have to do anything. And with humidity like this, the humidity is probably 85% or so. The temperature right now is not too bad. It's probably, I don't know, 85, I guess, by the feel of it. And then with that humidity, it just, that's what gets you, or that's what gets me, I should say. But anyways, it's a good system if you're, you know, working out of a base camp, or you have a lot of people camping with you, and your water source is not real easy to get to like ours. It's got to drop off about, probably 3 foot, and then straight down, and then you got to go down the riverbank, which is probably 8 or 10 foot. I'm just guessing here. And then once you get down to your water, then you got to carry that up. It takes 2 people, because your second person has to hold the bag while the first person that got the water scrambles up over that little 3 foot drop off. But it's not bad. You would think you'd be able to go right out this wash and get down to the river pretty easy. Unfortunately, that little point there to the left that you see is clay, and it is slick and it is hard, and you just can't get a grip on it. And my knees are in bad shape, so I worry about, you know, blowing out a knee. And then there's about a 3 foot drop off once you get out there, kind of close. Now you can come to the left over that little point there, and you know, kind of work your way down to the river. That's what I did yesterday, but it's hard to get down that way. If you're healthy, it's probably, you know, it wouldn't worry you so much. But when you're old and feeble and have bad joints, bad knees like I do, you know, I worry about every step that I take. I have to be careful because my knees go out of place so easy, and you just have to watch. Now our secondary source that we have, or way to get down, I shouldn't say source, but the way we have to get down to the river is this over here. It's not as steep, but those roots that run verticals where you have to come up, and it's pretty rough too. Then you got to get through that the softer stuff there at the bottom to try to get out to the river and to get water. So believe it or not, it's easier to use 2 people and come up that little 3 foot drop off. You wouldn't think so, but it just is. And anyways, that's what we've been doing to get water. That's our water source down there, Borden Creek. The water that you see running on the back side of that log is a spring. I don't know if you can make it out, but you can't get water out of it. I can't zoom. There it is, you can see it. It's a nice spring, but it's so shallow you can't get water. You could dig a hole, I guess, and gather water there, but it's so mucky there by the time well, you could use a cup, I guess, and dip it out. Either way, it's easier to come down here at that first place that I showed you and get your water. But we've been enjoying, and all but the trips for water. At any rate, we're having a good time. I wanted to do some more bushcraft kind of things. I wanted to make a kind of a stool to sit on and a toilet seat. Makes it easier to go to the bathroom for old folks out in the woods, and then you take it apart when you're done. But we've used up all our cordage in making hammock straps. I should have brought an extra pair of hammock straps with me. Next time I will. So we've used up all our cordage, so that making that commode, I guess you could call it, is out of the question. At any rate, still enjoying things. We can build a table because we don't need no cordage to do that. So I think I'll grab a saw and go gather up some dead wood and see if we can't make a tabletop. Make it a little bit easier so you're not struggling to set things down on while you're cooking and that type of stuff. Although I've been cold soaking and eating stuff out of packets this trip, I didn't feel like cooking. It's just so hot and humid that you don't feel like eating anything hot. There's our setup. We kind of ran out of space between those two trees with that tarp. We're both under there. Miss Molly likes it when we can find a place to kind of get under the same tarp. It's just makes her feel better, and security thing for her, and that's fine. Oh, that's fine. It works good. We don't bother one another while we're sleeping, but if somebody has to get out of the hammock in the middle of the night, it's kind of bumping, if you understand what I'm saying, because you cannot get in and out without running into your partner. You will wake them up. But other than that, you know, this is a pretty good setup. Been a good setup for us. We're strapped off to this big poplar down at the head end of our hammocks, and then at this foot end of our hammocks, we're strapped off to this smaller, I don't even know what it is, smaller tree, hooked up to it, and like I said, been working good for us thus far. Alrighty, well, I'll check with you later. I'm gonna go see if I can gather some dead wood and get us a table built. Point out something. You should never put your hand below something that you're cutting. If your saw jumps out, it'll cut your hand. What you can do in this case, I'm using my thumb for a brace, and if it jumps out, you know, which is too far saw now to jump out, but this is what I do to start it. If it jumps out, it hits the spine, hits your thumb, and it won't cut you. Where if you was holding it like this or something and it jump out, you'd good chance of laying your finger open. But this way, it keeps you from being cut. Bless you, Miss Ma. And here it is. We're moving in from the southwest. Nice steady breeze. Boy, it feels nice and cool. It's the coolest it's felt all day. Let me get out of this hole here. Nice. I'll bring you back if it does any more than this. We're still kind of gathering things up. Well, we got a little bit of rain just started. It's not much, just a little old drizzle. We've had some pretty good thunder boomers though. Off to the southwest, off to the north, off to the east, kind of all around us. And we're waiting for it to kind of come down a little bit harder than what it is. Miss Molly, you drop a coffee filter out there? You drop a coffee filter? Well, anyway, if it gets anything worse than this, we'll get back with y'all. Okay? Still just a light rain. We got I don't know if you can hear the thunder around us. All right, folks, a little bit of an update. The rain never really panned out good. We had a nice light rain. It never really broke the canopy more than just a few drops. We sat outside and we watched a movie. We played a game or two. I don't even remember. And just kind of fellowshipped and hung out. And then tonight we was kind of getting things ready. We're going to pack up in the morning kind of early. And we got some things we want to do in this area. We want to go to the ranger's office and check on some stuff there, see if we can find a good contour map, stuff like that. I don't know. What time is it, Miss Molly?
6:40.
It's 6:40 now, going on 7 o'clock. We'll probably hit it here in another hour or so. Get into bed and we'll call it a night. First time my meals today. The meal I tried cold soaking for the first time. Oatmeal for breakfast, and actually I did it for lunch, and because I didn't eat my oatmeal for breakfast. And ramen noodle ramen bomb. I cold soaked it for supper, and I liked it a lot cold soaked. I told Miss Molly I'll probably never cook again when it's warm, unless I'm just really in the mood for something hot. But I liked it a lot, so I can recommend cold soaking both oatmeal and ramen. All right, Miss Molly, do you have anything you want to say?
No, sir.
No, sir, she said. All righty, we'll check back with you a little later. All right, y'all. It is 9 o'clock, 8:51 actually, and it is very humid. It's hot. It's still probably 90, and at least just crawled in the hay, in the sack, in the rack, in the hammock, however you want to say it. And we're going to call it a night. We got some more rain. In fact, it's sprinkling out there right now. We did have some pretty good thunder boomers earlier. Nothing, it was still at a distance. We recorded some of it, but then they did get a little bit louder later. We didn't bother recording it because it was still at a distance. Whew. At any rate, we're going to hit the rack, and Lord willing, we'll get back with you in the morning.
Night all.
Night all.
Are you ready? What?
Well, folks, had another couple of 2 nights, and today's the third day. And the rain, it wasn't too bad, you know. In fact, it was actually kind of nice, cooled things off a little bit. It actually got down to 70 last night, which was nice sleeping weather. But I want to thank you for hanging with us this long again, and you know, we really appreciate y'all. And like, share, subscribe, okay?
And
Pray for us. Go ahead,
and
Miss
come
Mom.
be with us again on Jeff and Molly Outdoors for the next adventure.
Keep us in your prayers. It's all on the inside.